Njabala followed her outside, expecting a simple task. Instead, she found herself handed a broom and instructed to sweep the compound before anyone else woke. She stood there awkwardly, unsure where to begin. The older woman watched for a moment before frowning. "What are you doing?" she asked. Njabala hesitated. I... I don't really know." The silence that followed felt unbearable. For the first time in her life, she saw genuine disbelief on another person's face. That morning became the first of many humiliations. Every task exposed another weakness. She swept poorly, she carried water awkwardly, she burned food while cooking, she washed clothes incorrectly. Each mistake brought criticism, and each criticism felt like a wound. By evening, she sat alone behind the house, crying into her hands. The life she had entered seemed determined to reveal every lesson she had never learned. When Samanda found her, he sighed heavily and sat beside her. "You cannot cry every time something goes wrong," he said. "I am trying," she replied through tears. "Then try harder," he answered. The words were not shouted. They were not intended to be cruel. Yet they hurt because they lacked understanding. He saw a wife who needed training. He did not see an orphaned daughter trying desperately to survive in a world she no longer recognized. And it was there, sitting behind the house with tears running down her face and the weight of loneliness pressing upon her chest, that the first fragments of her song began to form. Not as a performance, not as poetry, simply as a conversation with the only person she still trusted. Softly, almost, she began speaking to her mother through melody, telling her about the heavy water pots, the endless chores, the criticism, the exhaustion, and the aching emptiness left behind by her absence. She sang because talking made her cry too much. She sang because silence felt unbearable. Most of all, she sang because every note made her feel, if only for a moment, that the distance between herself and her mother had become slightly smaller. And as darkness settled over the village that evening, the young woman who had once believed life would always be gentle sat alone beneath the stars and sang to the dead, not knowing that the song would follow her for the rest of her life.